Hello friends, today we're going to talk about inheritance in Java. So inheritance is one of the very important topic that we should talk about. Before spending most of the time, the main purpose of the inheritance is just take it as this way. So you don't want to define entire code work into the one single class having more than like 10,000 lines of codes. So you want to basically organize them, define the separate classes, make it small chunks of the code as small as possible. So inheritance basically retrieves all of the features that is within some different class, and those classes are considered as to be a parent class, and the classes that he's going to extend those features from certain classes, the one that retrieves is considered to be a child class. Make sense? So let's move on to the practical work so you get better understanding. So let me create first class. So I'm going to put this class as first say um, computers, right? So this class is a computers. So what do we say? Public void computer type, right? So this may be the computer type, which is string is equal to laptop, right? Let's say. And then I initialize the variable that says the computer type is a laptop, and I'm just simply printing this out. Okay. So this is coming from the parent class. So let me create another class where I want to get these features. So that class I'm going to consider as what do you have in the laptop, right? So let's say I put it as a laptop details. So here I'm going to get more of this, more of the, more deep into the laptop details. So those I'm going to write more of the methods here. So let's say um, mm, laptop brand, right? Brand is HP. Okay. I'm going to create another method that says like memory in laptop, right? Let's say 8 GB. So something like that, right? So what I want to do is I want to use some of the features that already has there on what do you call the computers. So and then to use that, let me just put that I say what is that here, this variable I want to use this computer type, right? And obviously you'll see the error here. So I don't want to define this again because I know these are basically the hierarchy which I'm trying to build and making into the small pieces, and also I want to use the features that is already defined. So I'm going to use this by having one features that Java will have by extending the features that computers has. So to do that we use the keywords called extends. Okay, so once I do this, you can watch this. The computer type, this variable is already there, right? So now I want to do something more. I want to even deep dive into this HP laptop. and I'm going to create one more class, and I'm going to basically make that as a grandchild, right? So what happens inside the HP laptop, right? Let's say HP hardwares, right? Hardware details. Let's say this is the class, and this is going to contain more details of the hardwares. So this is basically all I'm going to create here is one method, right? Public void details of xdd, right? So xdd is solid state 500 gig, right? And let's just create one more to make feel like it's a hardware. So what's this next? I'm going to put, I already did the RAM, so let's say battery life, no, processor of HP. We have i7, let's say i7 processor. Okay, I think pretty much we are done. So here, let's do this. Let's get this guy with the main method here. And let me just go ahead and create the objects of this. Add this new guy here, and then h dot. Now you see details of hard drive, h dot processor of HP. And if I run this guy, and you'd see the difference that all you get is these two output. Okay, so give me a second, it is still running, and it's still running, and you get this, boom. But here's the thing, we want to make this as a grandchild, and this one's a child, and that's a parent. So what we want to do, we want to retrieve the features that computers has and a laptop has, so that I can make this kind of complete class that contains entire details of computers, including laptop, name, type, brand, and everything, right? So here we don't have that many options, but what I want to do, when I want to retrieve a whole thing, right? Just like you see this with the laptop details that is extending features from computers. Now I need to extend this guy, so that what happens is laptop details already has the features that computer has, where you just see this, right? You get this computer name is coming from computers, which means it already retrieved all of the features that computer has. Now if I want to get this guy get extended into this guy, then I'm going to have entire features, and I'm going to talk about why we're doing that. Okay, so when I get this, now you see when I do h dot, see, you see so many things. That's the variable, but I want to computer type, right? Computer type, where is this coming from? Computer type is coming from computers. Okay, what is here? Laptop details. So it's laptop brand and memory and laptop, right? So here, okay, so you see single object of this class, right? The child class is capable of pulling all of the methods with the objects, with its one single objects, and run it into the one place. Not only that, you can also use that variable here. Okay, so let's do, what's that name of this variable? Let me just copy this, comp type, and put it here, and it'll just be fine. So what it means that you can share the variables that are initialized there, or any methods that are defined there. And one more thing I want to talk about is if there's any static method here, let's say, right? Static void battery life, right? Five, sorry, yes, right? So if there's a static method, this is even better. Look, you don't even need to do anything. Just simply call it out just like the way it is into the same class. You obviously don't need the object. However, you can get this guy can just simply call this. See, this guy is not in this guy's class, but it still is able to call. Or you can simply get it the method. You don't need to. So friends, this is how the static would be called or be used, as well as all of the non-static methods. They can be utilized within the extending features, which is called inheritance in Java. So we can talk more about inheritance and talk about more other features. Please follow my video, and I hope you enjoy this video. And before we go, let me just get a quick run here. Okay, so here you see entire thing, all features. So one thing you got to see is comp type, the variable that is coming from top level. Second thing, the way you are calling static methods are same as the way you would do while in the same class. And then the way you are calling this, all of this different classes methods, if they are extended, and the child can just call as they're in the same class, which means there's shared access to all of the properties except anything that is private. So if it's a private, even if you extend, doesn't matter, you cannot get that. That private is explicitly for the private. And one more thing, friends, here if you try to do the same thing for laptop details, trying to pull out something from this method, for example this details of SDD, then you cannot do this, because it just goes downwards. You cannot go backwards. So if, let's say, you want to do that with creating HP dot what do you say, h equals new, right? So now when you do h dot, then you can do, because you are creating objects of this guy, and which basically is doing nothing as the extending portion. But you cannot just call this guy's object out and then try to call that within this class. So that's the difference. Now you'll see, wait, laptop brand is, let's run this guy out. Cannot run here. Where's the laptop brand? Oh, I see, laptop brand is actually in the master. So you can, let's call these guys out, details of SDD. Okay, that's in the child. So let's run this guy out, and you see the error. So here the purpose of this is because the laptop brand resides in computer, so obviously you can get this masters here. And here with the laptop details object, obviously it can only call what's in the laptop details as well as what's in the computers, but not the child that is extending these features. So that's what you need to be careful when you're doing, so it doesn't go backwards, and so it is only the it goes downwards. So any classes, so child can get all of the features through the parents, but parent cannot get anything from the child. So I hope this clarifies all of clarifies you more about the inheritance and how you should be using it. Please continue to follow my videos, and we'll be talking more about this and further more topics. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you enjoy the video, and please subscribe my channel.